The shit.
Like as I've said before, like I like the freaks, like I want the freaks to be happy. Um,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, myself included. I mean, but
You're a
it's like
deadhead.
you can't. But I'm sorry, like the Olympic ceremony can't have it.
Yeah, that's a lot. And it's like it's the world's watching. So is that like our presentation? We can hear
That
that.
was France. That was Paris, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, there's probably I can tell you one thing. There's not a lot of Christians in Paris that are like, I'm outraged, and they're just like, yeah. Most people in Paris are just like, yeah, fuck that, fuck them.
All right, go ahead, start
Like,
recording the audio, senor, and we'll get this
okay.
show on the road. Where are we? Where are we? There we are. All right. Three, two, one, let us roll.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 198 of your Endless Ranters podcast. We do what we want and we appreciate your support. My name's Chris. I'm a mostly peaceful dad from North Texas and one of your hosts for this evening. So far, I'm just doing this perfect tonight. I just probably shouldn't have said that part though. I'm joined by the soggy mom living in a crunchy mom's world. It's Kwana. How you doing?
good. I'm glad it's Friday. It's my favorite.
Yeah, man, it is Friday, but the hits keep on rolling. And then there's man with the plan. It's producer Manny. What's going down, Mo man?
Chilling, son. I feel like I haven't been on this show in forever. What's going on?
I don't know. Where were you last week? What'd you get into? Do you went to base? You went to a baseball game?
A family gathering. It was a birthday, and
Okay.
it one of the cousins brought out, the baseball equipment. So we all just went out and
Oh
went crazy. Yeah, it was a good time.
man, that doesn't happen a lot, does it
No, it
anymore?
it doesn't. And I was just like, I told them I want to do this more often. It was fun.
Are
Nice.
you two?
Which is
Well,
so I'm not the
yeah,
biggest baseball fan at all. I'll fall asleep and the moment it's on the screen, but
yeah.
participating in it was something else.
It was
So
a lot more fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Co-ed sports are fun. I used to play on a co-ed volleyball team. I loved it.
nice.
Are either of you two old enough to have gone to many company picnics that were soft at like softball fields?
My mom took me to one of her company,
It was
outings, and
softball.
yeah,
Where
Yeah.
you have to play with your coworkers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then one of
Definitely.
them, there's always some chick in accounting that just destroys her ankle or blows out her knee.
Yeah, for
You know what I mean?
sure.
Because it's like she's never rounded second base before. So when like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not funny, Manny. What are you laughing about?
Well,
But it's horrific. I've seen it multiple times, and it's so that's why I was asking about that because
Yeah.
it's like, man, that lady should not be running full speed. Like this is not important. She's running full speed. She's gonna her when her foot hits the side of that second base, it's gonna her ankle's gonna buckle,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be tears, and the
Yeah.
whole party's gonna be ruined
yeah,
for like 20 minutes until she leaves.
Yeah.
because
Until she just
Susan, she just couldn't help
until
herself.
until someone drives her away, and everybody's just like, how long do we have this field? Oh, another 2 hours.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It happened twice to me. Not to me, but I've seen it happen twice. And it's like, this is not a good idea. Like,
Yeah.
it's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Well, when you're in your 50s, your bones start to get brittle. I mean, you shouldn't be rounding bases.
Like you
I'm
used
waiting
to.
for the next thing where it's like
Exactly.
people are going having like company parties at like axe throwing bars.
Yeah.
You ever heard of this? You heard of this? Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah. Yeah. We have a
You'll
lot
oh
never
of them
see
man.
here.
you'll never see me in a fucking axe throwing bar. Fuck that.
It's
Susan from
pretty
accounting is going to
safe.
Susan from accounting is going to have like a damn yeah,
It's gonna
a Viking
ricochet
axe in
and
her
go
head.
right into her fucking forehead.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the company funeral.
She's going to be like, I wish I had just blown out my ACL as she passes away.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. It's hashtag sad.
That's why, again, you won't catch me at a fucking axe throwing bar. Axe throwing bar. Let's mix alcohol with this sharp tool that
Yeah.
can
That's
severely
true.
alter you depending on what happens.
No,
I've
you're
also had
right.
the company volleyball parties before. That yeah, there's injuries that happen too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I played on my co-ed volleyball team till I was like 6 months pregnant with Kylie. I
Dang.
think they just thought I was fat. And then one day she just popped out and they were like, you can't play on our team anymore. It's like,
But you're a
all
Shaking that,
liability.
right.
just shaking that baby all around. That's she's a good athlete, right?
Yeah.
That's probably why she's just like
Mhm.
in there, like learning
Yeah,
balance at an early age.
absolutely.
She's feeling the movements.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, co-ed sports are fun. Everybody should do that. Our friend Jaden plays on a co-ed soccer team. I love that for him.
That's
So
right.
Hmm.
cute. His little soccer pictures. Feel like a proud soccer mom. Like, look how cute his cleats are.
It is pretty good. It
Yeah,
is pretty good. I'm glad for him. I can't do that anymore.
yeah. Well,
Speaking of sports, we were just
Yeah.
okay.
talking about this before, but I guess the Olympics dropped one on us today.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it.
It's so crazy.
It makes me, it's
The
shocking. It makes me angry. It's offensive. It's
the guy
also
with the
just, I also just
beard,
laugh about it because it's just, yeah, the beard, like a bearded woman that was Thor. I don't even know I don't know.
he was
Is
an
it, are we at the
attractive
circus?
man too. Like I was very confused. I was
Was,
confused.
yeah, I don't know. Like, where am I? I'm at the am I at the circus in the 50s? You know what I mean? Like seeing
Mm.
the bearded woman
The fat
or,
lady. And then there
yeah, I
was a
don't know.
little kid there. Like, what was a little kid doing there? Oh, there was like a little kid that was part of that commotion. I'm gonna call it a commotion.
I
I
don't know. I mean, I believe in freedom.
I
But
feel a
it's like,
butt coming.
well, yeah, okay. But it's like, I would like them to have their freedom in one place and we can have our, me and like-minded people can have our freedom in another place. And we're
Wait,
developing into two separate species. I know that's what the lizard man wants us to think, but we're developing into like two separate subspecies of humans that like just disagree on like just yeah,
Here's my thought on this, and I've been thinking a
major
lot
issues
about
like
it. I think that this division that they're doing to us makes it so the people that are so far this way or so far that way, when you're on one side, you don't think of these people as human. Like that Donald Trump shirt, like a dead, the only good Trump is a dead Trump. Like
yeah, 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 yeah.
that is a level of something that I've never seen before, but I mean, I've seen it before because that's how people said that their neighbors were Jewish and the Holocaust happened. Like we've seen this before, this level of dehumanizing each other, like not seeing anything good or of value. And it's like,
Well, that's why I'm trying to talk about it in a different way where it's like I recognize their humanity.
yeah,
Like if you want to take your child to like a weird drag show and you think it's really important to expose a 4-year-old to
yeah,
all that stuff, like
yeah.
I got a problem with it, but I got to be honest, that's your 4-year-old and
Yeah. You
like
can make
I'm
them
not
vegan if you
really
want.
like I'm not going
but don't.
to I'll never I'm not I don't really want to support a like a military or police force that's going to prohibit you from going to places and doing weird shit.
Yeah,
Because I
sure.
understand like this eventually that comes to like that, that like,
Yeah,
if some people had a way that would make its way to a Grateful Dead concert or something like that,
exactly.
where it's like, oh, you guys are doing weird stuff. It's criminal, you
Yeah.
know. I just would like to maybe separate. That's where we're going. And it's like, because I don't want to fight you. Like, I don't want to fight you. Like, if you want to do that, that's cool. But if you want to start encoding that into your laws, like, well, that's what separates nations and borders. Like, that's why US and Canada are different countries because we operate under two
Sure.
separate law systems of law and constitutions. It's like, so
Right.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the solution is. Probably famine. Um,
I mean, we're gonna see if
That's an
that works.
extreme solution
We're gonna see if that works.
or an extreme measure, I should say.
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, people will stop worrying about a lot of stuff,
Mm.
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
lot of depression and that kind of stuff. A lot of like all the dysphoria and all will just turn into like just straight up hunger.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I don't know what I was confused about before because I'm fucking starving.
Yeah. I think about it when I have to take my animals out when it's like extremely hot or extremely cold. Like we are not built for this shit. You know what I mean? Like the environment. It's just
So when I
yeah.
work my way in my own like personal moral code, when I work my way through, like I really would like people to be happy. Like I want people to have the
Sure.
freedom to be happy. My religion, even like telling like people are have to be free to
Yeah.
choose, um, have to have free will. So I'm just trying to like work through it. Like, what's the best way? Like, if y'all want to keep doing that stuff, like, cool. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want
Miss
to
me
like,
with that
every
shit.
yeah, big time. Like buy a fucking country mile. And like what did it say? Every American owes 100K
Yeah.
because the in money that the United States government has taken out from the Federal Reserve that's not federal.
That's a
It's
private
just a brand.
company.
It's a brand name they give.
Trademark TM.
It's
No,
an
all right.
LLC.
Federal
Stop.
Reserve.
From now on, this
It's an
podcast is known as the
LLC.
Federal. This is the Federal Endless Rounders podcast. Okay, Federal. I'm not even kidding. We're gonna change the name.
Yeah, for sure. I'm
All
in.
right. I'm marking the time and
We'll
everything.
get some Fed merch out there.
But like everybody owes 100 cans. Like I mean, okay. I mean, if y'all want to borrow, like, if my neighbor wants to borrow a bunch of money to like do solar or like buy a better truck or whatever, it's like go for it, bro.
Hmm.
It's like, but it's like not my problem. Like if it,
Yeah.
I hope it works out. I really hope it works out, but it's not my problem. But it's like if y'all want to keep doing this and like we're getting real close to we're just getting real close to we're getting real close to taxation without representation. And like a lot of people feeling like they, even if they have representation, that it's not real. So
None
that,
of
I
it's
mean,
real. None of it's real.
that's when humans get real. That's when humans get, you know, start doing crazy stuff.
They lose
Like,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, especially the white ones. Let's be honest.
And some of the brown ones.
Yeah.
Well, Brown
I'm
is
kidding.
is a
I'm talking about recent, but in all of human history, it doesn't really matter. Like when people start feeling like, hold on a second here, the balance of me giving to this community and like what they're doing and
Yeah.
like I'm giving this much to the community, but I don't get much say, like, but my say is minuscule and like how like
On
yeah,
TikTok, they're doing this thing about taxes and about money because, like you get taxed on the money that you earn and then you get taxed when you spend that money and then like
yeah,
all of the stuff. And I think that, kids are learning and they're like, wait, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff it's not
it's
adding
not.
up.
Yeah.
The math ain't mathing.
So they're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Well,
oh
Timmy.
yeah, I mean, you've seen that T-shirt. If the founding fathers came back, they'd be stacking bodies. I mean, it's 100%. Well, they wouldn't be. What they would be doing, they'd be like taking a ship to France. You know what I mean? Like if the founding fathers came back, they'd be going to like Norfolk Beach or like Baltimore, the port of Baltimore, and be like, "Does anyone have a wooden ship, fine sir?" I can't do a 16. I can't do an accent like that,
1680s guy.
but like they'd be like, because we need to go to France and see if they will support our war against these tyrants. They'd be like going to France and Spain and being like, hey, can you guys help us in this war? Because like we're being ruled by tyrants, and
Yeah.
you know,
But
can
no
you
one
help us
sees
out?
it. It's so weird. Like,
And then Spain and France will be like, well, we're commies too now, so no,
yeah,
no can do, George.
sorry.
Lo siento, sorry.
Did you see our opening act? You didn't see that for the Olympics? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. That shit happened here, bro.
Yeah, bruh.
I was meaning to ask you too, since you're talking this since it's on the forefront. Has another opening ceremony drawn this much attention or criticism before in the past?
Yeah, the 2021
Yeah, I
did.
mean, they're always
I
like,
mean, I'd say like way before, like in the 90s, 80s, that like back then.
Hmm.
in my opinion, they are, but they're looked at in like a bitchy top runway model type of way. Like, oh, great. Oh, look at that. Like
Oh, they're
that
just
looks
like
cheap.
being catty. Gotcha.
Yeah. Like Yeah, that's what I meant to say, caddy.
Not top
Forget what I said
runway.
before. You know what I mean? Like
On
one
a
of those
world center
judges.
stage, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where it's like real catty and like, oh, look how cheap that stage looks. Oh, what is that? 200 dancers? Why isn't it? We had 800 dancers, but this was like different. This was not. Yeah, this was different. This was like more of a content thing. Like that's really weird.
Yeah.
It's all for
I mean,
well,
I
yeah.
guess I'll admit, and according to some of my Facebook responses,
It's good content
it's
fodder.
not weird to some people. It's very normal and uplifting and inspiring to some people, I guess. But
Mhm.
um, yeah,
Well, it
but
does provoke conversation.
well, that's another level of it too. It's like Olympics. If you want to provoke conversation,
There's other ways about it.
just show
Yeah.
us some titties. Just show us some titties.
Yeah, and yeah, right?
You know what I'm talking about. You know, the Super Bowl, you know what I'm talking about. Just have a
Yeah.
wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what I
oops.
mean? Like, come
Yeah.
on. Like HBO has this figured out. They just like have all kinds of people. Every episode, every series they have, episode
Yeah.
one is just people banging,
They're
all
doing
hot
it.
people banging, just
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah.
Then it's like then like episode two, there's a bunch of dialogue and you're confused.
It's like, what's going on? I saw titties in the last episode.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
more. Yeah. What's up? What they just like? Yeah, I don't know. But that's
You're
another
not
thing to
wrong.
it. That's like it's like if you're just trying to like get eyes and clicks, like
Yeah.
like
No, that's not how
I
it
don't know, like
works.
bring back Ren and Stimpy. I'm not even sure why that just popped in my head. But like bring back something else weird.
I wonder how the world watches. Like, I would like to see the numbers for the world. Like,
Well, there's World, and then there's like, well, I don't know. There's World, and then there's like the world with a computer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think
isn't the
I don't
whole
know.
world represented though? Like, even the ones that don't have computers,
Yes, they are.
Well, I
right?
mean, but it's like, but the Olympics is if you don't have if you're
Are
not
you
paying a if you're not paying Comcast or some cable provider, like $80 a month
Mhm.
to get this into your house, like
Yeah.
the Olympics does not care about you. So I don't really care. I don't think the Olympics is really worried about like a
Well, I also figure
migrant farmer or
Mhm.
or like a peasant
Right.
Chinese person
Remember when
or
it was on like
some
regular
yeah.
network TV and it was like it took you all your shows were gone.
Oh
Like there
yeah,
was
yeah.
nothing. Even now, like because we do have cable, we're like the
but it's
last
Yeah.
standing
streaming.
cable.
It's streaming
You
now,
kind
I
of
would figure.
maybe all these people, maybe all these freaks that are doing this to the Olympics this year, maybe they're just really angry because like whatever show, maybe like Seventh Heaven, like the finale of Seventh Heaven was like put off for a month because of the
Yeah,
Olympics back in 1994,
for sure.
and they're
For
just
sure.
they're still like really mad they missed. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That
I'm
adds
just like
up.
I will get back at you, Olympics, by doing all these. I don't know. It's like that's probably not a no. That probably didn't happen.
No.
Wait, no.
Little too complex.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just like so. It in a sense, it is like it's kind of you have to look at it too as like it's like the next wardrobe malfunction
Mhm.
Yeah.
where they do shit like that on purpose to antagonize you or to
That's
push buttons, and it's
That's
like
what I was gonna say. It's inciting hate because I'm seeing people say, I'm not watching the Olympics now. So now people that maybe think that that's beautiful or whatever you said that people are saying that, now they think that the people that aren't watching the Olympics hate them. It's just like it's so crazy. Like, stop. It's nothing's personal. We're every so narcissistic. It's not about you. It's not about your whatever. Right?
I just think about it. Just there was a committee or a group that was just like, what should the theme be?
I mean, it's just like a giant wheel that they spin.
Like,
Yeah.
See
should
where
it
it
be like
lands.
should it be like strings and orchestra? And they're just like, what do you mean strings and what is it? Like
No.
that's no. We're talking like how sexual, like where should we go? Like in sexual theory and gender theory, what direction
And
should
can
we
we
go
put a
in?
child in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Why is there a
It's like
child there?
what genre of music and pop culture do you want to explore in this one? Like, no, it's like what area of gender theory would you like to explore in this ceremony? It's a little much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Are they that desperate for viewers with the Olympics? They could be, because it is way different.
Boring.
I mean, it is way different than it was when I was a kid and you were captured.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there is that motivation too. Um,
It's probably because of all
but then again,
the
it's
information that's out there about how the athletes, their experience and whatnot. Maybe that's another reason why people don't tune in. Is like,
If you don't love your country,
yeah,
why the fuck would you watch or care about the Olympics?
now
Like,
I'm kind of curious. Like, so now
right?
I'm like, yeah, well, that's true.
That's how
Yeah,
it
I mean,
used to
the
be. When we were
patriotism's not.
kids, it was like USA, like we're the best. We're gonna win. We're like
I
it,
think we've all like that's sports in general because we've all got burned by our favorite athlete that turned out to like just kind of be a dick or just
right.
you were just like, oh, I love that you're on the team USA, and then that athlete's just like, oh, I fucking
Dennis Rodman, we were looking
fuck
at you.
USA. What it's like we've all been burned by the athletes to where you're at a point now where it's like when
I
like
don't trust
if you're
any
just
athlete.
well if you're I guess people don't want to get burned. So it is, and I'm not really invested in it in that way, but I am kind of like thinking like when that athlete wins the gold medal, that American athlete wins the gold medal, I'm not really sure like where they stand, and not it's not like Biden versus Trump, but I'm not sure where they stand on like do you say positive things about our country,
Right. No,
or
I
do
don't.
you like in if you took a tally, like does this athlete say more positive things about our country than negative, or more negative than
Right.
positive? And it's like it used to be like no doubt, but now it's different where it's like
Right.
I'm so happy, but then now I just heard of this athlete and they just won this medal and that's so incredible. Oh, they look so happy. And then it's like then you look into them a little bit, it's like, oh geez,
Yeah.
this athlete doesn't think that much of me.
Or the USA.
It kind of seems like this athlete kind of, like hates me. And that doesn't feel like from just a human thing, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what color you are, age, whatever, religion, like when you come to someone with open arms and and you get stung, right?
Yeah.
That
I liked it when everybody played a little closer to the vest with their thoughts, like just a little kept it inside a
yeah, you
little
know what?
bit.
I do too, because I don't really like when I post stuff. I mean, in our group, I post stuff more regularly, but it's like by personally, I do have like a little bit more restraint,
Yeah.
um, because I don't know what
Well, you're
You don't
being
see
shadow
this.
banned.
because
You're
I
being
guess
shadow
because I
banned for your
do.
behavior in your group. So no one ever
Yeah,
sees your personal posts.
yeah, it's true. But like so, that's why I kind of come at things like I do think like no one wants to hear that, like keep it to yourself kind of thing. That is kind of an American thing, but it's at some point like I struggle with the point where it's like, all right, I can't keep this to myself.
I'm
Hmm.
talking
Like,
about celebrities. Like, of course, the
well, yeah,
masses are
but it goes to
free to
anybody
discuss
too.
amongst themselves, but like, I don't want to know what George Clooney thinks about anything, honestly, which I have some thoughts about that too. Like, why? Remember, he's known for his Caesar haircut, and I don't know what Caesar's role is in government, but like, does it have anything to do with like what we're doing now? Like, why all of a sudden we care about George Clooney's thoughts? Like, except for
Because
It's a weird. Well, it's because he's a Democrat darling, and the Democrats control American mainstream media. I don't know if you go to the rest of the world. I'm not even sure that these George Clooney articles are making headlines anywhere. I don't know,
okay,
but
outside of
In
America.
America, I may be wrong, but I think the reason that George Clooney's political thoughts hit the Daily Mail and the New York Post and the New York Times and every is because like mostly because
he's boy Jennifer
he
Aniston.
that it's like the Democrat. He's a big time Democrat. He raises a lot of money for them too. Raises a lot of
Okay,
money.
It's like, hey, we need you to
That's
do
it.
that thing for us.
And
Yeah.
also, he's not an actor, celebrity. He's a billionaire liquor
yeah.
tycoon.
Salesman. Yeah.
So
Mm.
He doesn't need to act
he got
anymore.
upgraded to tycoon. Like he's not a celebrity actor. He's someone that has like an insane amount of money now and can make or
Yeah.
break the next celebrity's liquor. And now he has like big time corporate power,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which they used to remember that. This is where I kind of turned years ago when all the celebrities would be
Tell us,
like
Chris. Tell us.
the big celebrities, the Hollywood celebrities would be like real against the corporate donations.
Hmm.
But it's like, last time I checked, Brad Pitt's an LLC. You know what I mean? Like that, and like, or not Brad Pitt. It's not a good example because probably doesn't, he's not probably big on Joe Biden, um, but like John Bon Jovi,
Hmm.
you kind of have the money and freedom that like a corporation has.
Right.
Like you're not like Bon Jovi's not a person; it's a corporation that is worth shit tons of money.
Hmm.
Um, but they don't have a problem like then using their free, and they have the freedom, they have the money and the freedom to like go everywhere, anywhere, and like tell everybody what they think about their political thoughts.
I don't like it. I don't want to
Or
hear
like
what.
a corporate, like a rich CEO, like that runs Exxon or something, is
Hmm.
not allowed to do that because he makes oil and you make music. It's like it's very that part. Maybe that's like a nuanced thing, but that kind of part that kind of got me. It's like, well, the reason corporations can do these things is because they have a shit ton of money and a shit ton of time. And the reason that John Bon Jovi can do these because he's got a shit ton of money and a shit ton of time
Yep.
to like go and meet and like influence and use his money and his power to influence people. And that's what corporate leaders do too.
Hmm.
But I guess for them, they think it's different because they're good,
Yeah.
right? They're saints and they're always just out for, good.
And the right only has Scott Baio and what's the other dude's name?
And if you're a CEO that runs a company, you must be out for bad. You must be out for bad. It's like, but
Well, it's all relative to these
I don't know.
people, so
But yeah, George Clooney, like that doesn't really. So he's not really George Clooney the actor anymore. He's George Clooney, the famous,
the brand.
yeah,
Gotcha.
brand
All right.
billionaire. You know, that other celebrities definitely don't want to like. Would like to probably emulate. I think,
Hmm.
and
And we
and I
know he
and
has
more power
access
to
to
him because
little
that's a smart
Asian
move.
children for
What's
his
that?
Yeah.
boat. He has access to little Asian children for his boat rides. So
I
there's
don't even.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a they. Yeah, I guess people don't really care anymore.
yeah.
I think the Democrats care and the media cares because he's famous and powerful, but like regular people are just like, okay, George Clooney, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you
thanks for
say.
letting us know. Like
Yeah.
we
We didn't
kind of
ask
figured
you.
you told us 8 years ago that you were on that side. So it's like we kind of figured.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah.
Oh man. What
It's
else is going
been
on?
so much. It's been like the
It's a lot to
craziest
keep up with,
week.
honest.
It's been
Yeah.
it it felt like it was Monday and then today's Friday. Like it's just like it was the fastest week. And it's been just, I mean, Joe Biden
Dropping
broke
out.
up with us on a post-it basically. Like I'm out. Good luck, don't hate me.
It's like, it's not you, it's me. Bye.
Yeah. So weird. Like this whole like everything is so weird and how everybody just jumped on board. Like that's fine. This is perfectly normal that we don't get to choose who we're voting for. It's just gonna be Kamala. Like, am I saying that right? I heard the Hoteps do it, and now I feel like every time I'm saying it wrong. Kamala?
You
Kamala.
say
Kamala.
Kamala, I say Kamala, Kamala,
Kamala.
Kamala, Kamala,
Like
Kamala.
Kamala, right?
Yeah.
Kamala. Yeah. All right. Interesting.
Um, I mean, yeah, where do we even start on that stuff? Like what? That was Sunday. Sunday, Biden dropped out.
Yeah.
Kamala, yeah. It's fascinating. Obviously, I'm not a big fan. I think she will. Well, I got a lot of thoughts on it, but it's fascinating because it is. I guess there's like it's like political games, but at the same time, some big things going on where
Mhm.
people are saying that the Democrats aren't really having a democratic process because she wasn't in a primary.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. I guess the meme on the right is that it's not, and no one voted for her, so Democrat voters being disenfranchised. I don't know. I mean, if all the if like a majority of the Democrats want her and are like excited about her, then I don't know that they're being disenfranchised. Maybe they didn't vote in a primary for her, but if it's kind of evident that they're all, majority are with her, then it's, I don't know that that's undemocratic, because it's like
There
part
with
of the democratic
Kamala.
process is an actual ballot, but part of the democratic process is also your feet. And if your feet move and they vote for her and they want
Right.
her and they're saying then it's like,
I think
what's the thing? Do we want to force them to have a primary where that she then wins? And then they're
right.
just like, well, it's like, no, she's going
To
to
say
win. She
that she
would.
won,
Well, I think that like when
to
Biden was
brag
an
about it, I
option,
should
a
say.
lot of people were looking at RFK. And I think now those people are, I mean, it would have been nice to have a choice, right? Like he would have been the choice had a choice been available to people. And I think I would hope that like rational people are looking at that, like, yeah, that's weird. Like, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they're
Mhm.
just so excited to have a black woman president. They don't
She's
care.
Indian, not black, Indian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well, I guess
crazy.
I don't know. Like that's weird too, because I hear people saying like her dad is Jamaican. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I think those guys are black. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems so weird to talk about, but it's like,
Well,
I think,
internationally, well, it's a whole other
and they're like,
They want
well,
you
she's
doing
not
that
really black
though.
because her father was Jamaican. It's like, well,
Yeah,
I think Jamaicans are like would consider themselves black. It's like I don't, again, they don't probably don't think of themselves in these terms that Americans think about
yeah,
so much. I really don't
they
know,
don't.
but I don't know. I see that as I've shared this story, but it's like I see that as a success story. Like I think about when I hear Kamala Harris talk about like the racism, sexism stuff, I'm just like, I think about her personal story, her family's personal story. Her father was a black man or a man of African descent from Jamaica, who in the late 60s or early 70s was like, I'm going to move to America.
yeah,
And he wasn't tricked into it. He was like, that's a good place where it's much better for me to be there to do what I want to do in my life, which is be a professor, like an economics professor. Um, um,
what's the meme
so
that's
it's
going
like,
around
so
about
like
her?
so he decided like even back, like, because and in this day and age, like 50 years later, we talk about America as being such a racist, horrible country. It's like 50 years ago, Jamaican dudes were like, I got to get to America. And
It's the land of
this guy,
opportunity.
when he got to America, he started getting jobs. He was like a professor at universities, like notable universities, Midwest, East Coast, Stanford. I think in 1972, he was a Stanford professor of economics.
Hmm.
Now it's a little bit, he's kind of a lefty. He's kind of, no, he's kind of like maybe somewhat of a Marxist economist, if you're being harsh, like kind of like that kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
but like employed at major universities and like Stanford University in 1972, and had a daughter
Right.
that was married. They were married, they had a daughter, and she seems to have done quite well.
Hmm.
So it's like, it's just like it's a weird thing where she is talking about racism, or her followers are talking about racism, but it's like her story is like a story of folks of color, or whatever you want to, people of color, like having a pretty good time in America,
Yeah.
a pretty good time in America.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
and I guess like, like 45% of the country is willing to vote for her right now. So it's like, that does not sound like the country that people keep describing as like the most racist, sexist, horrible place on
Yeah.
earth.
Well, and that's why they're nailing that moniker onto people like yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're the racist, you're the this, you're the that. That's why it's easy to just dispose of you because you are these horrible things.
Hear
The
me out.
basket of deplorables.
I think that I figured this out. This is all just another way of increasing. No, not increasing, but this is all just another way of keeping people from flooding America. But it's just like, have you seen what's going on over there? Let's not go over there. You got it.
It's just not working though.
That's not working, buddy. They're flooding. There's another
I think,
caravan
well,
forming.
you're right.
They're coming.
You're right. It was a good try, but then it's like, but then they're just like, man, if they got money for that shit, they're gonna have free
Yeah.
Visa cards for me. And like, man, if they got enough money to like do that kind of stuff, if there's like enough money in the healthcare industry to like cover sex changes
Everybody.
on a goddamn copay,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, or maximum 10% out of pocket to do a sex change. I mean, I'm paying
legit.
too much when my kids get when my kids need a freaking flu shot, I'm paying way too much.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I don't want to offend you with the flu shot business, but
Thank
when
you.
my kids need a checkup,
You're not
you know,
giving
like,
your kids flu shots, are you?
oh, we probably are.
What?
Oh no.
Why?
No, I'm not really sure. I don't do any of that stuff, but
Okay.
probably because the schools, like,
Oh, right.
yeah, schools. Another reason for school choice, not even like the whole education standards, just like,
Just so you don't have to comply to these
y'all want to like make like young girls get like STD vaccinations and shit like that. Like,
Yeah. Well, when your baby's
that's
born,
weird.
they give them a hepatitis. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
first
weird.
vaccine they get is for a sexually transmitted
But the
disease.
school, like the school list is another like cudgel they use, getting on the school list.
Yeah.
Because once you get your medicine on the school, oh yeah, it's like decades of profits. Anyway,
Yikes.
what were we talking about?
We're talking about the Secret Service director resigning.
Oh, were we?
Yeah.
I got Patsy vibes from that.
Yeah.
If we're ready to move on from what we're talking about before.
Well, why do you have Patsy vibes from that? What about the whole
Well, we don't
ordeal?
live in like our government is not a meritocracy.
It's not?
No. Like,
I've been lied to this whole time.
We think about the elected positions not being a meritocracy because it's a popularity contest, but like the unelected positions are, I think, probably even more of a popularity contest.
Right.
Or the ones with influence. Where I guess she was like on Jill Biden's Social Security
Popularity
she was
list.
she was on Joe Biden's Social Security detail. But I guess that was the story. I mean, the thing is, they tell on themselves because when it's happening and Jill Biden is pushing for the first female Secret Service director,
right?
They actually tell you, like they'll be like, "Hey, reporter, come and talk to me so I can tell you what I'm doing," and I'm pushing this first female Secret Service director. But then when it goes awry, they're just like,
I got you.
When it goes awry, they're just like, "That's fake news."
Yeah. You didn't see that, and we will have it scrubbed from the internet, so you can't find it.
The thing is, like, if you would have just shut up about it in the first place and just done it,
yeah,
like, just if you would have just hired your girlfriend,
yeah,
because you just wanted to hook her up and because she just, whatever, then
it's like, see, I need a job. What's up?
Just do it. Don't do it, and then tell everybody you're.
Yeah,
it's like the Joe Biden with Kamala Harris. Like,
it's like they can't help.
How different? How different would it have been if he would have just picked Kamala Harris in 2020 and didn't pick her after saying he was going to pick a black female? Like,
yeah,
if you would have just left that part out, like, you've taken away all the rights, all the conservatives, all those attack lines. You know what I mean? But you can't because you said it. Because you actually said it. You said you were going to hire, and it's like.
That was probably an original sign of his decline, Maybe he just like threw that in there.
I mean, partly if I'm Kamala Harris or a Kamala Harris fan, I'm like, you kind of like, okay, you picked her, but you kind of picked her, but you did her in, but you also kind of picked her, but kneecapped her at the same time. And if you have in my opinion of Joe Biden, you're just like, yeah, that's how he operates. Yeah. And I think Kamala Harris knows that's how he operates too.
Well, because he's racist. I mean, at the end of the day, the belly of him
he has a record,
a little bit racist.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm going to vote for Trump, so people call me a racist, but it's like, well, I really don't have a track record of
right, just
in prison. Like I haven't,
about it.
literally never imprisoned anybody.
Yeah.
Literally, never happened.
You never had the inclination, the itch to imprison anyone?
Nope, never. No one, any color, race, or creed. No, never
Yeah.
imprisoned anybody. Never felt the urge to at all. Nope.
Yeah.
You're a good man.
Oh,
Oh, well, these are minimal expectations.
on TikTok, there's a lot of people that are doing like the same. They're playing like the soundtrack of Joe Biden over time and the horrible things that he said that are very, very, very racist. And it's like just a black person listening to them. Like, and it's like their reaction in real time, kind of like, you like to watch
Yeah.
black people reacting to songs. It's black people reacting to this voice track of Biden being so incredibly racist.
Yeah, I mean, I think
And
that
I think it's
everybody
a little
would be.
heartbreaking for them. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
what? He
Well,
said what?
there's so many content creators. They make those videos of like maybe black people doing it, but like you could play that for like an average white liberal, and they'd be
Yeah.
like, oh,
Mhm.
Wait, he
oh,
said what?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be like, oh, when you put it that way and you kind of put it all
Yeah.
together and you have all these Democrats saying stolen election nonstop for 10 minutes, in
Right.
2016, it kind of hits different. So
Yeah. These motherfuckers.
really.
I just keep thinking like we have to be on, there has to be two different, the Mandela guy was on the show and like two different wavelengths or timelines.
timelines.
It has to
Overlap.
be, because there's just no way that you could absolutely think one way and talk to somebody else and it's like they're getting completely different information. It's the wildest phenomenon. And that's really one of the only things that explains it. And I know it seems like far-fetched, but over in CERN, they really are trying to find the God particle. They
Mhm.
really are turning on these crazy things that are creating black holes and weird shit. Like, these are real things that are happening. So maybe you don't know about it, or maybe it seems far-fetched,
I've been
or
scratching the surface over the past year about just the universe, and so I do worry about what's going on over there
but no one's talking about it, Manny. Like, but when they
because
turned
of
on that particle or what,
the
conduct
collider.
the collider, things change like it noticeably to some people,
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe those people are on a different timeline too. I don't know.
Much like Ethiopia is.
Stop. That's real. Like, that's not made up.
I know. But
They're
I mean,
7 years
just
behind us.
6, 7, or between 6 and 8.
Oh, here comes my puppy. Hi, puppy. So what else we got to talk about on this lovely Friday? You want to fill us in on where you've been?
So last week was just a family birthday, family gathering, and then what was it, the week before? I was here the week before, right? Or wasn't I? No, the week before I was also out, and that I don't remember what I was doing then. I'm sorry,
Just
it's just
avoiding us like the
no, I'm
plague.
not avoiding you guys. It's just combined with the fact that I'm currently, unemployed, like time is just all the days are just it's just one massive
Yeah.
thing I can't discern. So which is making like the past couple of weeks all the
It's the
more just
passage
like
of time
yeah.
which marks the importance of the passage of time. And as the time
Oh. I feel like she's gonna have Obama in her earpiece, though. I feel like the next couple
well,
weeks it's gonna be very, very. You're not
I'm
gonna hear that
trying to
cackle. I think
I'm
she's gonna
trying
be
yeah.
lower.
You're right on. You're right on. I
Yeah,
think first of all, they
Uh,
already have gotten her much better speech writers.
sure.
Like day one, they were just like,
The
"You're all
stuff,
fired." Like
the stuff that she's been saying, you
hey,
can't.
there's someone walked in, someone from the Obama team walked in, was like, "Who did the passage of time bit? You're fired. You're fucking fired.
fuck out of here. We don't need you anymore.
Like you're fired."
I hear
Like,
they need you in a Hallmark Fuck out
Who
of here.
here did the coconut tree comment? Whose idea was? Who said that was a good idea?
I see you tilt your
Get
head.
out.
You're out.
Yeah,
Oh,
get out. Yeah, like Secret Service,
Don't even bother filing for
make it hurt.
unemployment.
Make it hurt.
yeah.
Make it hurt. They're
Yeah.
resisting arrest.
Oh
Yeah.
my
They're
god.
resisting firing.
They were causing
Resisting.
they were causing a scene.
Tried to steal a stapler. Had to get beaten to death. Anyway, but like, yeah. So they got our new speechwriter for sure. They're going to be like, stop. Don't speak from the hip. Don't.
It's not your
Which is,
strong suit.
which in all fairness is advice they'd give most politicians. In all fairness. So it's not like she's doing anything out of the ordinary. But yeah, she's gonna be she will be a lot more. They're not gonna let her freestyle like that.
No,
You know?
no. There will
They're
be
gonna
no
you gotta
freestyling for her.
like you gotta knock off on the the freestyle philosophy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, that's a
I feel like they got her doing podcasts though now too, right? Did I hear that correctly? Like she's been doing some podcasts. Like they're putting her out in different markets than what we're used to
That-
seeing.
They're trying to make her seem hip. Is that what you mean?
Mhm. That's what
I mean, I
think.
think you're gonna see, like, think about it more of like and I say this with kind of jealousy a little bit because, I think my side doesn't really have these skills, but think about it more like a Hollywood when Hollywood wants what's that? Jack Harlow, or like when Hollywood wants actress of the, du jour
right.
to be big.
Right. Yeah.
Like
all in.
That's when it's like, wow, I never heard of this, but like I look at the Daily Mail, but it's like, wow, there's like half the Daily Mail is about this young actress today. Like that's not a coincidence,
right?
So that's what it's gonna be like. They're trying all kinds of stuff, trying like, what if you go on TikTok with this personality and you don't laugh?
Right.
What if you go on this person and you do laugh a lot? Like what, like, and they get real weird. They get real like Hollywood. What do they call it when they have like the test audiences? They get real weird with it like that. Like, hey, try laughing half, try laughing a little, try laughing a lot.
Well, that's what
like,
they said.
They get
they're calling that phone call with the Obamas like a movie because it was so filmed. Like it obviously wasn't. It was filmed like a week ago. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't in
Very
real
staged.
time a phone call. So yeah, but
that stuff really.
It's like our moon landing, bro.
That stuff bums me out because it's like
it was fake.
Even like a 18-year-old nowadays, like maybe, when I was 18, I didn't know what, like I didn't understand TV.
right.
I mean, it's like, 1990, like I don't understand how all these things show up on this thing in front of me, right? But now it's like
Sure.
an 18-year-old understands like, digital marketing, and they start a kind of a better understanding of the world and how fast things can work.
Yeah.
So I think even they can look at these things and be like, that's just, we see what you're doing. Like,
right.
yeah, we see what you're doing because that's what they did with that last, they tried to push a gamer on us because they've kind of been through this on their like youth levels where like they'll try to push a personality out there and all the kids are just like, no, we don't, like, this is not.
We see what this is.
Like, well, they yank that person,
Right.
and so speaking about online stuff, but a little through line of the weirdos, but like this Mr. Beast stuff. Mr. Beast.
First of all,
do you know who Mr. Beast is yet?
I'm learning today that he's a children's YouTuber. Why is he called Mr. Beast? Like that's seems...
just nah.
I thought he was the titty guy from Adam Carolla's show.
That's Mr. Skin.
That's Mr. Skin.
Well,
I mean,
that's who I thought.
I mean, is
Mr.
it?
Beast
I mean,
was.
is that Mr. Skin or whatever? Mr. What does that call it? MrSkin.net. I don't know. I've never been to that site before.
That's who I thought Mr. Beast was. I didn't.
I think
realize
Manny said it first. Manny said it first.
Yeah.
You did seem to know that domain. Yeah.
No, but no, Mr. Beast. I first heard of him because I guess he just does big things on YouTube. He records it. And I think those guys started out with like, I remember my son would be watching, it'd be on YouTube Kids, and it'd be like some guy, and they would put they would get $1,000 in cash and put it in like inside like a giant piece of plexiglass, right? And they would do a YouTube video where it's just like they would drop a bowling ball off a building to try to smash it to get the $1,000.
Okay.
Right. But that video, that video cost them $1,000 in 6 hours, right?
Right.
In cash, or if it
Okay.
even cost them that, because they didn't spend it. But that video would get so many freaking hits that they would make, $100,000 off of that video from YouTube revenue, ad revenue. So
Okay.
then these guys would just start parlaying, like Mr. Beast, I think started like that. They just start parlaying it to like, well, damn, if I did that with $1,000 in like a piece of plastic and like dropping bowling, like I can do like really big
Yeah.
stunts.
Okay.
Like, and I think one of the recent ones was like, he actually had 100 different YouTubers come in to like 100 different little rooms
Mm-hmm.
and like do like a how long can you stay? So like he had
Last
actual
man
other
standing.
YouTube creator, yeah, like a last man standing thing. But they've built it to where they can put out anything that's like mildly interesting. Not saying they have low bar because they do good big productions, but like they can put out these things that are pretty kind of bland. You know what I mean? Like
This
no,
is
I mean
in
I say that today because it's like
Mostly
I'm gonna
Peaceful
go.
Suburban Dad calls Mr. Beast content bland.
Well, but you know what I mean? Like it's not like edgy. It's just like, I'm going to go out today. I'm
It's
going to pay for the
safe.
groceries. I'm going to
Yeah.
pay for the groceries of 1,000 people,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
people will watch that because it's just like, wow, he like, there's just nonstop montage of him like hooking people up and then being really happy.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, it's like really kind of good. And I like that my son was like watching these things of like, oh, okay, if that's what makes him happy is like watching other people get happy, like that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they would do that to where they just have so much, they're just making so much money. I don't know, like some of these companies have even gone public. Like Dude Perfect, I think, is one of these,
What
or
is
one of
that? The
these.
Miss Rachel lady too? Is she public? I've heard
I don't know
her
about
name
her,
before.
but
She's another.
some of these guys have gone that because they get their sponsorships are so huge that
Mhm.
they literally could just like, they turn their YouTube channel into a corporation
And they just license
and
things out.
they can just kind of sell out and like become stankin' rich and just pass it down to like the next employees. And now some company owns that YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And after they've met their contract obligations of like staying with the channel for 3 years, they can just retire or just do something else.
When
But
Kylie
that's
was
what
a
Mr.
kid, she
Beast has
watched
done.
the Shaytards. There was like a family, like they were just filming their family
Yeah.
life.
Yeah,
Big
it's
fat dad
weird.
and
It's it's real weird because a lot of it is very positive, but also a lot of it is like, but they're filming it.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
So it's very meta, I guess you would say. Like
Yeah.
Well, he's
they're
also
just
been
like,
criticized for that like you're
isn't
just
real.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, not that they're not questioning the validity, they're questioning the motives behind it. It's like, why are you just doing this to show that you're just a good person? It's like, is that your content? Is that all that it's based around? So
I think it's
he's drawing criticism from people like in that
I think those
respect.
questions are kind of unfair, maybe, but also expected. Like, yeah, it's like, why are you doing this? Like,
Hmm.
you
Is
just get
it
off on like, making people happy. Like, I don't know. Like,
is
but
his content for
they've,
children though? Is it like directed towards children or is it
I would
adults are
say,
watching this too?
No, yeah, he has a wide audience now,
yeah, I would
Okay.
say
a wider
the
audience.
vast majority are under 18.
Hmm.
Okay.
Vast majority.
Is he a young person too? Is he like in his
He looks like he's
20s?
30.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He looks
Okay.
like he's 20s,
I
upper
think he's
20,
in.
but he's been doing it since he was a kid, I think is probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
But he's not, he
it has
wasn't
to
creepy before, but it just like he okay.
the scrutiny the scrutiny comes
He's
around.
not creepy. He's not creepy himself, I don't think.
No, it's his co-host or the partner or whoever
So it'd
was
be
that.
like if I was watching Jackass, Steve-O's
Hmm.
the weirdo. Like there's right? Is that what we're talking
Nope.
about?
Nope. 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 It would
Okay.
be like, oh, let me see if you can it would be like you're watching Fox and Friends in the morning with Steve Ducey and Brian Kilmeade, right? Those two are still there.
And Bill Hammer.
And Bill, yeah. And then Brian Kilmeade just like, hey y'all, nothing's gonna change, right? We're all gonna just sit here and we're gonna have the same deal, but I'm a woman now. I've left my wife, my kids, and I'm a woman now. But let's keep having a good time. Like, let's talk about those goddamn liberals. That's what it was more like. He just kind of
Okay.
changed it. That's the weird thing. It didn't really have like it wasn't really part of their show. Like he did this kind of all off. I mean, man, you can tell me. I'm going off like my son watches some of
I've
the
literally never heard of
Mr.
this
Beast
person.
videos.
Never even heard of it.
Well, the person's name is now they go by the name of Ava Chris Thompson or Chris Ava
They have a Chris Tyson, and
Tyson
it's
Tyson.
it's like I'm not sure if it was a co-host or just somebody that worked alongside him in the background behind the scenes. So he
Okay.
was never. I think no, but I think they were in some videos or they have been in some videos. But it just came to light that the dude was just a creep. You know,
Yeah, grooming,
yeah,
Yeah, I
grooming the
mean,
grooming.
kids.
Yeah,
But I
I
heard
would
that he
accept
was
creep, but I'd also
20.
say
It
like
was when he
he
was
was
20. It's
obviously.
not like current day affairs, right? Is that
I
true?
mean, that's
I
what they
don't know
said. Like,
about I don't know about current, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it was when he was 20 and he was like messaging like a 16-year-old, which
Hmm.
mhm.
I mean, I don't know if that's right or wrong.
No, 13. I think it was 13.
Okay.
And
Well,
Yeah.
that is wrong. That is
they
definitely
waited to
wrong.
meet. They waited to meet until that person was 16. And I think that's when that they met at a function at Mr. Beast. There's a picture of the person of
Okay,
him with
yeah.
that.
And then I heard that like he's actually grooming Mr. Beast fans, I guess. Like maybe he has a Facebook group and they're all in there and
Well,
he's grooming them. Is that maybe what's happening type thing?
I don't know. And I don't want to make it more, I don't want to make it
Okay.
worse
It already is.
we already think it is or whatever it is. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Because it would be easy to be like, oh, that's why he had that. And it's like, well, I don't know.
Okay.
Because I mean, obviously,
Okay.
I don't, but it is very strange because it really wasn't part of their content. Their channel is not about any of that kind of social stuff, whatever.
Okay.
He just did it. My take is like, so they were childhood friends.
Yeah.
So Mr. Beast, his name's Jimmy or something like that, kind of took his friend along for the ride,
Mhm.
and they went gangbusters. They hit it big, and they're probably both. I mean, Mr. Beast is definitely
Except for
independently
life.
wealthy.
Is he gonna
Well,
get
I
canceled for
imagine
this? Like,
that
is he completely canceled? Like, is the
he
show
canceled
gone?
himself. He canceled
Okay.
himself, which is kind of like yeah, he probably was messaging some young kids
Okay.
inappropriately when he was 20.
Hmm.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's weird because it wasn't part of their content, so it really doesn't. And Mr. like the Mr. Beast guy, Jimmy guy, he kind of seems like he was just trying to not be a dick to his friend. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, if
Okay.
it happens to someone that's close to you, you're probably just like, well,
Yeah.
if I tell the guy to fuck off and I don't want to ever see him again because he's obviously confused as hell, like that's not cool.
Right.
Right.
So I don't know that it ever came into his on their show, but
Right.
there are pictures of them together when his buddy is dressed like a woman and like
Mm.
pictures out because they would go to like events together, like where it was like a Mr. Beast. So I guess he was still involved with the channel, but their content didn't change or get weird.
Okay.
I just think it's kind of like this guy was very confused when he was 20. And then like a few years later when he had tons and tons of money,
Right.
and it's like there's no financial impact to freaking out.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
most people, like average people might have like freak out things, but they are like, well, I can freak out until the rent's due. But if you have like if you're just like kind of like it's like celebrity children,
Yeah.
and what the stuff they're up to, it's like, yeah, you have no like you're living in a different reality than 99% of humans that have come before you, like
Sure.
where there were restraints of some kind, just restraints, whether it was societal, financial, there were walls and there were like borders, and maybe that's not a good thing. But then like when you get crazy rich, you're just and no borders is like yeah, some weird stuff can come out, I guess. But
Well,
that is a really wild story and a good one. Like I mean, me personally, I mean, my son has seen that go down.
Oh,
So my son has
he
seen.
knew the guy before he transitioned.
Mhm.
And did he have questions about that? Because did they make it part of the show? Because then that would be kind of,
I
or
don't
did
think
the
I
person
don't
just
know if
show
they
up one
made it.
day as a different gender?
So I don't know if they made it part of the show, but if you watch Mr. Beast on YouTube, then you're probably going to start getting things about Mr. Beast on YouTube as well.
Okay.
That, like, if you're a big content creator on YouTube, you might have like 20 YouTube channels that are dedicated just to like
Hating you,
copying your shit or hating your shit.
Oh,
Like, you know what I
right.
mean? Like Mr.
Yeah.
Beast has a ton of
critiquing
like,
or whatever.
yeah, because if you type in Mr. Beast and you search it on YouTube, you're going to get a bunch of Mr. Beast videos, but you're also going to get a bunch of like Mr. Beast did Mr. Beast do this by,
Right.
Beast
Right.
Fan 101 or whatever other channel
Right.
out there.
Right.
It's great because it does create it creates like a whole another economy. Um anyway, so I think it's just so my son has seen it kind of go down. I don't think he is at camp right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He's at horse
Nice.
camp, so has no technology whatsoever. I
Wait,
wonder though, this will
what's
be a
going
good
on in
test.
this horse camp? Is it like a lot of horseback riding or horse wrangling or
Yeah, like yeah, he's wrangling. Yeah, he's like out
He's at
there like
cowboy camp.
yeah, he's like running stampedes.
oh wait, or
No, it's like
is he whispering to them? Because I know that that's a
it's
thing,
more
right?
like whispering. It's more like horse whispering than horse uh roundup camp.
Gotcha.
Now like learning to take this is like his third or fourth year. He's
Nice.
learn to take care of them, ride them, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Clean them. I don't know. I mean, yeah, this boy is
Does he want to own a horse in the future? Is that what you're telling us?
probably
Nice.
yeah.
'Cause-
But it's kind of cool because I wasn't given exposed to so many things, but yeah, we are exposing our kids, and he's being exposed to a lot of different things like that. That
right.
say, you don't really want to get into this, or if you really
Right.
want to get into that, this is what it's going to take.
Yeah.
You know. So,
That's cool.
but it'll be interesting to see how tight their technology, lockdown was at camp.
Mm.
Because this all happened, the whole thing where the sidekick for Mr. Beast got found out and canceled himself, that all happened this week since he's been dropped off. No
Okay.
iPad, no technology. So if he's in the car and he's just like, oh, I knew that happened, then it's like, okay, one of these freaking campers snuck a cell phone. It's like prison.
Yeah.
Does he get to talk to
Some
you
kid out of
guys though? Do you
Nokia.
get to talk to your parents or no?
No. He
How
actually
do you
talked.
have such trust and confidence that no funny business is gonna fucking occur at a place like that, man? Where there's like, by the way, no contact with the parents. Like,
It's a risk.
you're living boldly, my friend, on the wild side.
I went to camps for
I did
weeks at a
too.
time when I was a kid. Yeah,
Same.
it was just
I
like
never went camping.
and let me tell you something. My parents didn't have a thought about any kind of like funny business.
Yeah.
They were just like, he's
was
out
just
of the
My mom
house,
was pro
thank
funny
God.
business. She
It's
was
just
like,
like
whatever.
they
Taking her
were
to
never
camp.
they definitely weren't worried about any counselors. They were just like, you're gonna live or die. Whatever. We're gonna show up here in a week and you'll be either in the parking lot or there'll be a fucking casket.
Yep.
That was it. There was no like you might
One of our
get like
camp counselors
there was
died.
never like any kind of like
No
you might get
parents
diddled.
came. There was no
No concerns.
grieving counselor, nothing. We had like a lake day and everybody was like swimming out to this island and one of the counselors sunk like a fucking stone. He literally drowned in front of all of us. They helicoptered him out of there. No follow-up. They didn't let us call our parents. Like we just had to deal with the death and they sent us home
Yeah.
at the end of it.
What the
No,
fuck?
okay. I've given literally no thought to this, but I have figured out what's wrong with these generations.
They didn't witness anyone drown in front of them?
Well, it's more like what the grown-ups did when that kind of stuff happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what the grown-ups did back in my day is like you just act like it didn't happen and move on.
That's
like,
exactly what they did.
you know what I mean? Like now what they do is they like airlift in.
We gotta stop everything. We gotta have a circle. Everyone gather around.
No circles.
We'll talk
No,
about
it's
this.
like no, we're gonna like
until
you hear the
cows come
choppers.
home.
Yep.
You hear like the chop. They're like airlifting grief counselors in to talk to kids. Like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you sad?
Yeah.
Are you sad? Are you sad?
Yeah.
Are you sad? Are you sad? Are you thinking about death? Are you thinking about
Yeah.
Like,
Time to go to lanyard making class, bitches. We're
if
done
you
at the lake.
pretend
We're gonna
pretend
go
like
make
it didn't
lanyards
happen.
now till lunch.
Yeah. Here's the deal. And I figured it out for everybody.
Hmm.
Pretend like it didn't happen. 29 out of 30 kids are going to be perfectly fine. One is going to
Enough
be
like me.
some kind of psychopath, maybe hurt,
It can't be
like,
helped.
yeah.
This isn't going to be a determining factor, but it just can't be helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah. No, that is exactly what
Yeah.
happened.
Make the kids that keep asking questions feel bad about themselves for asking too many questions.
Nothing.
And
No grief counseling.
everybody's going to be fine. Like, you keep
Everything
asking kids, like,
was
what? I mean, they're saying, I mean, I'm joking about it, but they're saying it's like there's articles in Psychology Today about this stuff where it's like you keep
Mhm.
asking kids about their fucking feelings, and they're like, all of a sudden they've got so many feelings.
Yeah.
That they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what a
for
good feeling is
sure.
for kids? Next time, if you're any kids listening, next time your parents ask you how you feeling, you tell them to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Just, just don't.
You're corrupting
tell
the
'em-
youth, Christopher.
You tell them, I feel nothing. Shut it.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
tell them. That's what you tell your parents. They'll stop asking. Yeah. I don't know.
Kylie
They
said
might.
that her boyfriend's mom said, "Oh, I didn't think your mom drank because she's so healthy."
Oh,
Kylie
wow.
said, Kylie said, my mom is very balanced. She
Balance between beer and liquor,
And weed.
drinks water sometimes. But
The
yeah, I
hard
think
kind of water.
and then you said balance, like that is the balance. Like, we need to find a balance with kids. Like, yeah, we probably shouldn't tell them to ignore tragedy. We probably shouldn't have grief
Right.
counselors like attacking them with how are you feeling and like
Right.
tell me, and like, what do you mean you're not feeling anything? Oh my God.
Are you
Yeah.
dead inside? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We need to put you on some pills so you start feeling things
Oh
again.
my gosh.
Or we need to put you on pills so you don't feel it so much.
Yeah. You feel too much. Yeah. Yep. Remember when kids were just hyperactive? Like that was just the weird kid in class. Now they're all medicated.
Hey, I go back to remember when kids could just be dumb.
Yeah.
I feel
You know
like
what I
we've come full circle and they're back to that.
Yeah.
Given what happened
You know what I
with
mean?
COVID and the schools
Like, you
being
just
shut
knew, like,
down.
It's so sad. It's
I'm
so
telling you right
sad.
up,
That is the
straight up,
saddest
like,
thing.
it's 1980. I'm in the damn whatever, fourth grade. And it's like,
Mhm.
we knew who the smart kids were and who the dumb kids were.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
I'm not even sure we're going with that,
Yeah.
other
Well,
than just to be mean.
well, we were allowed to be mean back then. Not so
Yeah.
much anymore.
Yeah, I do. I mean, obviously I have a lot of, good thoughts, positive thoughts about Generation X, but there might be a few Generation X's that, aren't doing so well. Maybe being a latchkey kid for 6 years straight wasn't good for them.
Right.
Okay. Now you're doing fine. You got encyclopedias and books back there. You're fine. That's a mark of success.
There you go.
You got a TV going. You're not even watching the TV. You got the power on. You must be rolling in it. You know what I mean?
A TV display.
Yeah, it's like back in, like, if you were 12 right now, you'd be getting smacked in the head for having a TV on and you're not even watching it.
Oh my
You
God.
get your back turned to a TV.
Didn't even
that's
have a
on.
TV. There was no TV. It's all, I had a music-based childhood. It's all albums. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. No, but the
It was
latchkey
different
was
because, like,
real. It was a
like
real
our
thing.
parents, my at least my mom, they weren't mean. They just were like, get out. Like,
Oh yeah.
It's like, what are you still doing in the house? You got to
they're
go
just like, yeah,
live.
like, what are you doing here? Like,
Oh, my
and it's
grandma
like,
was
I'm
like, you
hungry.
aren't
It's like
allowed to come back in. Do not come back in this house.
the
Or you would
hungry
have to, you'd
stuff.
be
It's
put to
like,
work. Remember, you would have to, like, if you're gonna be coming in and out, you can grab a broom and get to
Some
busting.
chores.
I think another thing, like, we have this thing about, like, our kids are just like, I'm hungry. And then it's like, we break down, we fix some stuff, make them stuff. It's just like, when I was a kid, it was like, I don't want to, they would just be like, I don't want to hear it. And then you were on your own and they were so strict. And it's like, we're not going to make you like a snack or whatever. It's like, what you did
Wait.
was you learned how to steal food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you learned,
How to
like
scavenge.
you acquired skills like how to
Yeah.
like I'm gonna get she's in the bathroom. I'm gonna go into the pantry. I'm gonna take 3 Chips Ahoy's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it real quiet. I'm gonna put a dish towel over this crankly plastic that's like so loud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push it back in, and I notice exactly where it was on the ledge, and then I'm out of here, and I'm eating these cookies, and no one's even gonna know.
Yeah. I made friends with this
My kids haven't
lady who,
acquired those skills. They have
no, they
actually.
haven't,
They do
because they
both.
can
They
have
get
whatever they
stuff.
want.
No, they get snacks, and but then it's never enough. I was cleaning out my garage closet, and I found a popsicle, a fudge sickle stick on the ground, but it was clearly thrown behind something.
Just trying to
You know
hide
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and then like a half hour later, I find the plastic wrapper to the fudge sickle like stuffed somewhere else on my workbench, and it's like,
Who did this and why?
yeah, it's like violent. I felt my car
What did
got
I
stolen one
do to
time.
deserve this?
It was like violated, like so violated.
My space is not sacred.
I wanted to be the snack house for my kids and their friends. Like I wanted
Be
because there
loaded with
was
the
like
snacks.
there was zero snacks. Like I there was no snacks in my house. So I just always wanted that for my kids. Like we were like a snack haven. There were fruit by the foot, by the fucking mile in our house.
I like it. Like, so those moments get me really pissed because it's just like, what have I done to you that you
Yeah.
would like, like I get real dramatic in those moments. Like, my whole life is dedicated to you. Like, well, like 30% of it. It's like,
Twitter.
and
Twitter
then
owns a
you would
part of your
just,
heart.
and then you just like take this trash because you don't want to, find out. Like, but instead of like hiding in the bottom of the trash can, you just throw it behind my backpack in this closet on the ground. But then I think, and then it's like it's enraging. But then I think like, then it like brings me back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just imagine my
Your Chips Ahoy
7-year-old
days.
daughter. I imagine my 7-year-old daughter was like going in full stealth mode and like probably felt like a genius at the moment, getting like a stool to get to the freezer in the garage fridge, getting a fudge sickle out. And she's like looking over.
She probably had to eat it so fast she got a little brain freeze.
Yeah, her
Maybe
heart,
reverse brain freeze.
like in that moment, her heart is racing. You know, she's just like, "Oh my, what is that? Was that at the door? Who was that?" And like, I just think about like the mind, like where her mind, her heart, her like energy was at when she's like sneaking this popsicle and then just like, destroying me by throwing it on the ground. And it's funny to me.
Yeah, it should
And
be.
then the like I don't want to say stupid, but like, like their brains don't work yet. And then they're just like, the next thing I'm going to do to throw them off my trail is to crumple this wrapper up and just throw it in his toolbox.
It's like, what are you doing here?
It's so good.
There's no rhyme or reason to this.
Like, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I threw this fudge sickle wrapper in a toolbox, and now I have gotten away with this." Like that's how they think.
It's like, I'm not even mad at this point. I'm just like perplexed.
Yeah.
I'm just like befuddled. Like, what?
Yeah. It's good.
Then I
It's
think of
really
myself on like, the week before Christmas, my parents would put Christmas presents under the tree like
Oh.
a week ahead of time.
It's like, why would you do that?
We are unwrapping
But
with
last
this
year,
latchkey. I'm coming home alone.
oh yeah, we did it in the mornings and the afternoons. But then they forgot that last year they gave me a microscope kit with a X-Acto knife.
Yeah.
That's where it came in handy.
So I'm in there like slicing open the tape, and then we replace the tape perfect. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and I doubt my sister's listening, but you were there too. Don't even.
Way to incriminate your sister, bro.
That's funny.
That she's probably just like, my brother is a real bad apple.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't with him.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Never likes my Facebook post, does she?
Doesn't want to be seen as that person, be like, oh, I can't be the one.
Nope. Yeah, she's friends with teachers and stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway,
What are you gonna
is there anything else crazy going on?
Bro, everything has been crazy, but it's all the same crazy shit. Like Joe Biden was missing, and then Joe Biden
Yeah.
was on a call with Kamala where she called a recording, sort of. It's like it's been the
Yes.
craziest week in this movie. I put on my
They're gonna
story
be
today, like that if America doesn't have dragons in the next part of this movie, like what are we even doing? Like
I hope
literally.
that I don't know what's gonna happen, but I hope that some of the themes like 3 months from now are like Kamala is Biden light. You know what I mean? Like that she's like 30 years his junior, but she still says really like she still
Dumb
like makes
shit.
man. That was funny when she had
Diet Biden.
so Joe Biden resigns. Well, everybody knows that wasn't really his choice. So or
Or
in
And
the
his
end,
signature or his, yeah,
real dodgy. Yeah.
it was
it's
backed into a
super
corner.
dodgy.
He's like, you know what this is, Joe? Let's go.
And I'm kind of like, well, that okay, yeah. There's a lot of dodgy stuff, but I guess it is what it is, or it is what it is. It is what they say. It is what the people that actually hold those pieces of paper and documents say it is. So whoever
Mhm.
fills out the paperwork is the one who is kind of
He's
determines whether or not he's on the ballot. So, but um, I was surprised. I guess I'm surprised by. I really thought he was going to run out the clock,
yeah.
but then I guess I wasn't listening to the people that would say like the Democrat Party. There's not one person like it's a machine like
Mhm.
that's not going to let him run the clock out.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what happened. So
Did you
they
see
knew
Vivek's
he was
statement
just
today?
no, I didn't know.
He
But
put a
he's always
statement
like
out
dead nuts
to
on him, I
like
think.
to us, and he's like, stop asking for him to give the seat to Camilla because then she'll be the, incumbent. Stop, like he had like a list of like 10 things, like stop saying this about her, like it makes you look stupid because she can't be this and that. Like he like put out a whole list for like people like get it together. We're gonna win
Yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have
yeah.
to be a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good way to help her win is for a bunch of dude bros or whatever to be like,
Yeah.
oh, she's a hoe, and
Yeah.
she blew her way to the top. I mean, these are Manny's words, not mine, but
I told you these things in confidence, Christopher.
God damn.
Way to
Just
air me
airing out the
out.
my
group
bad.
chat.
For
We can
Damn.
delete
real.
that. Delete that. But like that's not really gonna work. That's kind of like you say
Yeah.
that enough, and like even like a conservative woman is just like, all
This
right,
is now a federal podcast, so you're gonna have to like
that's true.
dial
Yeah,
it down
it's
a little bit,
official.
Manny.
We're gonna start printing our own currency soon. Start printing money.
uh,
Uh,
Been a
well, I
wild
don't even want to say
week.
it, but that's good advice. That's good advice, and yeah, people
Yeah.
need to get with it and don't. Yeah, it's shit. Does
Stop
yeah,
looking stupid. They make it easy for us to look dumb as hell. Like stop taking the bait.
and it's crazy because they're just like part of their strategy is we can tell the biggest, craziest, most obvious lies, and they'll respond with, "Ha ha, ha you're a hoer," or like they'll respond
Yeah.
with some stupid racist, sexist comment that kind of
right.
like takes away from the fact that we just told a giant lie.
Biden
Like,
addressed the nation after his resignation, never addressed why he did it or that he even did it, and said the lowest crime rate in 50 years and like the safest border. Like he like just
yeah.
bold face, like just lied.
I think that
Crazy.
there's a lot of people saying that like he really believes this. Like he really believes that he is the elder statesman,
Yeah.
like champion of the universe, like that he's been a great world leader. Like he really believes this stuff. That's how far gone he is. And I guess even a president that has a sound mind could be in such a bubble, if they were, dumb enough to allow themselves to be, in that bubble. But
What about the
um,
the AI stuff? Are we addressing that? Like, are we addressing that he looks different, that he was taller, like that there's
yeah,
Wait,
all these things, that there might be a secondary Joe Biden or
there's always going to be a
I think that's kind
clone.
of like a gilding the lily a little bit. I don't know. It's like that's a little. I don't know if gilding the lily is the right term, but it's like a little
I
bit
don't know what that term
too.
means.
It's like when you like you have a beautiful lily, but then you try to make it better by making like putting gold, like, and
Oh,
it,
okay.
it destroys it, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I think. I hope I'm not wrong because I've never been asked that before. I've never had to explain
Sorry.
that term. If someone's like, "Well, you retard, lilies back in 1827,"
Well,
but I think
maybe
that's what it is. It's like
maybe
you're
Rich
trying
will
to
listen to
add,
this tomorrow. He's at a rock
yeah,
concert tonight. Maybe he'll listen to this tomorrow and get back to us on what
right,
gilding
yeah.
the lily means.
I think that's what it means.
If he doesn't get beat up at the concert, we
But
kind of
it's like
we can
making
put that
something
in the
that's
thing.
perfectly fine, like even trying to make it better, but you destroy it. I don't know what was I saying that
Yeah,
about even?
you're correct in
But
that
what's
assertion.
that? What's the term? You say that, Quantus, and you say like the frogs boiling.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like you can boil a pot of frogs, and if you put them in the water and you turn up the heat little by little by little by little, like they don't notice the heat,
So
and that's what they're doing to us.
here's my anti-conspiracy theory, right?
All
Or
right.
something I kind of use again, like, and I kind of take what you said because you say that a lot, and I think like, so if like why shoot the frog in the head? Like if you're already putting the pots, the frogs in the pot to boil, like why shoot it in the head? Or like why put a mask on? Or like why, like, I don't know. It's like why go all these extra steps to have four different versions of Joe Biden?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
if you really want to get into like, well, these pictures look different, well, then you could say, well, all four of these pictures look like a different person. So now you're getting into,
Yeah.
because these two pictures look different, there's two people or a body double. Well, what if you
Totally.
find four pictures that look different? Well, there's four, and then just gets a
Yeah.
little bit too much.
And I mean,
Also, the body
I think
doubles
if
are
we're being
bad,
honest, I
not
think
good.
he has had some plastic surgery,
That's
obviously,
true. Yeah.
because, to like make him look younger. I think he's had some plastic surgery, right?
Well, also, I like how like we live in like I don't live in a self. Well, I do, but it's like I don't like it's a selfie world. Like
Yeah, I've literally never seen you take a selfie.
no one takes a
Right?
selfie. No one takes like one selfie and sends it. Like you can guarantee like any selfie you see of anybody is like the one out of seven.
27. Yeah.
That's what I said. One out of 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple
Again,
even has like a
Manny
feature where
7,
you
you
can slide
27.
over and it just will take 900 pictures at once. Like
Right.
you will get a good one.
So that is a very common human thing that humans do
Yeah.
nowadays. So all those humans that do that have to recognize that, holy shit, my face looks totally different,
Bro.
like from this angle, like this light. So like to me, it's easily refute, like, yeah, the Joe Biden, if the camera is like 1 degree over and 2 feet further back, then
Yeah.
yeah, he's going to look different. He's going to
Yeah.
look a different
And it was
size
super
or
close. The flags even look bigger yesterday. The flags look bigger than they look
you say
normally.
super close, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like and then again, like nowadays with cameras, like you don't really know if it's super close or not. It doesn't actually need to be. I don't know, but yeah, people look different. So, um, and at this point, if you're the government, you're just like, all right, body doubles, you can go home now. Because I got to be honest, like just go home because it's like this is like hella work to like
I
keep
do like
y'all like
whenever
wrapped up
you
tight
bring
and
me
like
back to the center and you're like, but why would they make the second Joe Biden as retarded as the first one? And so I mean it does always like slap me back into reality.
Well, I
Like,
mean, if you're in
okay, maybe
Hollywood,
there's not another one.
but it's Hollywood. That's not like Hollywood. They might be like, we got to
We
make
have the
this
best
joke.
method actors. Damn it.
Like
They're saying it's Jim Carrey.
they're saying,
I'm
Oh
kidding.
boy.
I'm not making that up.
I can't wait
but
to
again, like the conspiracy theories, like they may not be true, but they're based on something that
Yeah.
is very real.
Are
And
you
so
talking about
when we're just,
gay
well, when we're
frogs?
just maybe
Just kidding.
those are real, or aren't they? Or I don't know. There's like frog the shit that changes sex. There's worms. And
Yeah.
I got worms in my garden. You can cut those suckers in half and quarters. And they just keep on going.
Isn't that crazy? I
Yeah.
used to, when I was a little kid, like that was my fascination, was chopping worms.
There's a hammerhead worm. I guess it's invasive. It's very bad. That's you have to burn them.
Uh-huh.
Like you can't just like hack these things up in your garden because you just turn it into like 10 different hammerhead worms. It's like I don't know, like we don't need to be taking our cues from Mother Nature.
I wonder if that's a
Frogs and all that.
genetically modified worm. You know how they did the mosquitoes and now they're going to be carrying like the malaria.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I see a lot of stuff in the gardening groups, stuff like that about the hammerhead worms. You got to burn them
I
These things
haven't.
look gnarly.
anyway. Oh, yeah. So now it's Kamala versus Trump. We'll
Mhm.
see. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't really,
I think
I
RFK is
could
going to be able to debate with them. I think it's going to be, I think
really,
that, I mean, I can't believe how fast women are like, I'm with her. Like, and it's just based on
It's the sisterhood.
she's
That's why.
her. Like, if you ask them, take away, this is what you're supposed to say to these people. Take away that she's black, take away that she's a woman. What do you love about Kamala? Kamala.
yeah. I mean, I think
She's not black.
that's too that really is too bad. And the people that vote that way, I mean, we all pay the price for that. So it's like it's not like the people that vote for that way like get off scot free. I mean, their gas is twice as much too. Their eggs are more too. Their freedom is also less. They're also less safe.
She's in the office right now. Anything that they are like, oh, this is going to change if I vote for her. I'm
Well,
sorry,
nah,
what?
it's not.
She's had 4 years to change it. Nothing. What are you talking? What are you even fucking talking
Yeah,
about?
I
Like,
am.
if you
I'm
want
concerned a
anything to
little bit.
change, that's the person who could change it. She's there right now and could change it. What?
I think Trump will win. I think Trump really will win. I do think it's going to be kind of hairy. I think they could screw it up if they could screw it up. I think that
Sure.
I mean we were talking about George Clooney earlier.
Mm-hmm.
People, well, there's the money, but it comes down to the looks. Like people, it was in Americans' minds that this guy was a hunk, 25 years ago. So that's it.
I
That
want to get to
that
the bottom of the Caesar. There's something to do with that Caesar haircut.
but
I want to
that
know
Oh
what
but
it
that
yeah.
locked
is.
it in. Yeah, that locked it in. That locked in like a he must be good, right? Because he's attractive
Mm-hmm.
and like he must be good. And
He
I don't
is
know,
good
I'll
looking.
tell
He
you the same
is
thing when
horribly good
you
looking.
if you're if you're an
Ridiculous.
alien, if you're like an alien from outer space and you come down and you become a human and you're like a full human and you don't know all the other baggage and you see still photos again, like when you look around the internet and you see
Uh-huh.
still photos of the candidates, you see still photos of Trump and you see still photos of Kamala, like she photographs really well.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Long
That's
horse
it. I mean, it
face.
really is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
she
her neck is not giving.
well, see, that's why we have to have a female host because we don't
Yeah. Her
like
neck is
man and
not
I don't
giving.
notice those things.
I
She gave up on the you know what because the neck is not looking like those muscles have been worked out very much. I'm just saying. She gave up.
But she just
well,
like it just and I'm not saying like from a purely physical like attract. I'm saying like it's 2024. It's the United States of America. It's Hollywood. It's magazine covers. It's a culture of Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian and like what can you like how good can you make yourself look in one still photo and like Kamala like, she's just like attractive woman and it just fits and some of the pictures of her, I mean most of the pictures of her actually the still photos are her in like kind of a joyous position and like a smile like a pretty smile on her face that
Yeah.
looks very positive,
Yeah.
right? And she looks like, well, that woman looks like she definitely went to college. And like, even if you didn't know who she looks like she went to college, and that pantsuit she's got on, she definitely is probably a
Smart,
lawyer.
smart pantsuit. Yeah.
Like and it's a good looking photograph.
Yeah,
It's a
for
good
sure.
photograph, and it just works. And yeah, it really works well with our programming and like what we think an attractive near 60-year-old woman should be, that's successful and happy and all that stuff. And it's just again, it's still photos. Like when you start talking and you do start playing videos of her moving her hands around and saying nothing and saying Ukraine is a country. It's a country near Russia. It starts with the letter U. It's,
She said
and I'm
something
just like,
crazy the other day too. Like a couple days ago, she said something super crazy.
the still photos work well. And I
Yeah.
think like if like some people like that's kind of like there, you know.
Yeah.
So like a Trump supporter might be like, man, I was watching him talk in front of a rally in Wisconsin and it was hilarious. You know what I mean?
Watching
So
him
that's like
golf this week has been like the highlight. I love with his little glass Diet Coke bottle. Like, where does he even find those little tiny Diet Coke glass bottles? He's
They're custom
driving
made.
around,
yeah, I
shooting
mean, you know what?
shooting eagles. So I was
I'm
calling an
sure
eagle.
very few, well, they're just playing golf. They had some eagles and some birdies, but like I'm sure like a very small percentage of actual Americans saw that, but like Donald Trump was driving the golf ball, and he definitely
Driving.
not. I think they were the young guy Bryson DeChambeau was crushing it. So
Yeah.
he was actually being very deferential to Trump because Trump was hitting it very straight, like
Have you been
very
watching
very
his
straight, but not
granddaughter?
as not nearly as far.
She's been all
I
over
haven't seen her
TikTok
play golf.
too.
No.
Oh my gosh. Scratch golfer.
Yeah, that's cool. I
Yeah.
mean, it kind of like, in a sense, like, out of the Trump family, like you own a golf resort. So it's like if you don't have one professional golfer grandkid, then
What are you doing?
What are you even doing?
like,
Yeah.
then it's
Failure.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Drop
yeah.
the ball big time.
So
Uh,
I would even say like maybe the Trump family should have more. So
yeah.
I don't know. Just kidding. Anyway, have we covered enough? Was there anything else that, we just need to get to
Not that I can think of.
other than the toilet?
No.
Hey, I'm 51 years old, sir. The fact that I've held
I
it
don't know.
this long.
I posted something on my personal Facebook tonight. Anybody, if you want to be my friend on Facebook, we can be friends on Facebook.
Oh, that's nice.
But I've got a bunch of notifications been popping up the last hour and a half, 2 hours we were talking, and it looks like one of my friends from somewhere is arguing with Russ.
Oh, that
Oh,
should be fun.
Yeah, I gotta go check it.
I love when my friends
When
in
the
real
worlds
life
collide.
get into it
Mhm.
with, I'm like, hey, hey, hey. I remember I had to tell one of my grade school friends, like, listen, like, let's not do this with him. Like, let's
Just leave it
not,
be.
yeah, back up. Back
Oh
up.
yeah, I guess anyway, yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna go look at that too, because I love when Russ gets into it. Well, I'll come back
Yeah.
and
All right, y'all take it easy.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Do what you
Likewise,
want. Get
get
it
it
on. Do
Get
on.
what
it
you want.
on.
It's
Thanks
always
for
a
being here.
pleasure.
Yes, sir. Cheers.